Hello, Persona. It is I, a nerd named PT, here a simple distance away from my microphone. Whoa! Today, guys, we have Monarch. Yay! I got bored, so I was just floating around. I realized, oh yeah, that's right, we have some like old support that came in, so I'll try them again. Monarch is pretty damn nice. Yes, Monarch, fundamentally, the end goal for Monarch, once again, hasn't changed at all, but it is a lot more effective now in terms of getting more board clearing, in terms of the low levels, which we got, which was Royal Wisdom Guards, Tribute Kaiser, and Advanced Form, which I haven't used that much, but... so the entire game plan behind this deck is simply tribute summon monsters. You will be tributing over your level 5s and your level 8 monarchs and use their effects to slowly pick away your opponent's board to the point where they are no longer choosing what gets removed. And your main starters for that are going to be your vassals, which all have the effect to add back a monarch. Yay! But of course they do have cost, which don't relatively matter since the monarchs you add back remove those monsters. Anyways, let's get into it. First, we have 3 copies of Wilhel. You can tribute summon it by tributing a level 5 or higher monster with 1000 defense. That's going to be your normal alternate summoning condition for your level 8 monarchs. During turn, it is tribute summon attack position. Your opponent chooses a card to destroy on their field. So of course this doesn't seem that great, but once you realize you add multiple Wilhel back to your hand, you're basically removing 3 cards for almost no cost. To pair with that, we do have 2 copies of Estrome, which once again, the same summoning condition. During turn is tribute summoned. Your opponent chooses 1 card on the field, and you can destroy 1 other card on the field. You do not want to use this while your opponent only has 1 card on the field, then that means you have to pop a card you control. So normally the combo, well, I say quote-unquote combo, usually in most cases your opponent has like 2 cards left. You would use Estrome effect, your opponent targets 1 card, pop the other card, you summon out Wilhel effects, they pop their last card. So you pretty much want to rotate between the 2 of these and clearing out your opponent's boards. If your opponent has a larger board, then you will be using Estrome a bit more, but usually Wilhel is the better monarch. Along with that, we do have our level 5 monarchs, which is during Wilhel the Wisdom Monarch. During the turn is tribute summoned, look at a face down card, and if it's a spell card, you can destroy it. It's a pretty good card. 2 copies of Estrome, the Star Monarch. When it's tribute summoned, target level 6 or lower effect monster field, destroy it. Once again, pretty good. Now, these 2 monarchs do pair up with the 2 main vassals of the deck, where you have Zuse, the Wisdom Vassal. During the turn of the normal summon, shuffle 2 monsters with 1000 defense to your graveyard in your deck. Your opponent sets a spell card, then you can add 1 level 5 or higher monster with 1000 defense. So usually with that, you would be adding back Wilhel, or you'll be adding back the other Wilhel or Estrome. Though that won't stop you from adding the smaller Estrome. But similar to that, Hebe, your opponent can summon a level 6 or lower effect monster to do the same thing. But, that would also set up Estrome. But with that, they can also add back Raiza, the Storm Monarch, arguably the strongest monarch in the game. When it's tribute summoned, place a card from either field on top of the owner's deck. So you can somehow Raiza, tribute it over it for Wilhel or Estrome, add it back with a copy of Zuse or Hebe, or, even Tribute Kaiser if you want, and then place another card. With that, we have one of our new cards, Royal Wisdom Guards. If you have 10 or more cards in your deck, show 4 monsters with 1000 defense and graveyard back in the deck, except a monster with 1200 attack. Draw 1 card, increases level by 2. So it becomes level 5, and you draw a card. I think on almost every activation, I've top-decked Wilhel with this, so it's a little bit broken for me. Honestly, my favorite, the MVP of the new supports, Tribute Kaiser. Reduce the level of one face up level 3 or 8 monster your opponent's field by 2, then you can add 1 level 8 monster with 2400 attack, 1000 defense from graveyard to your hand. So basically what that does is it does reduce a high level monster low enough to the point where low Estrome can pop it. Also, it is basically a free, but keep in mind that it only does add the high levels, which is why it's at 2 copies and not 3. Finally, we have 1 copy of an advanced form. Honestly, you don't realistically need this, but if your opponent is playing a lot of removal, removes your field spell, then yeah, you want to use advanced form. Send up 2 other cards from the field to grade, shuffle monster your opponent graveyard into the deck, even number shuffled, then you can add 1 advanced impact or Emperor's Realm, which is going to be your field spell. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave while this card's in the field zone. Face up level 5 or higher monster with 1000 original defense, gain 400 attack. So, you know, they gain their original Monarch stats, 28, 24, Raiza becomes 28. 3 copies of Orodoll, the audio idol. Basically, it's more tribute fodder. The most important thing in this deck is to get tribute fodder. Shuffle 2 monsters your opponent graveyard deck, summon another copy of this card from your graveyard, and it does have 1000 defense. It's a neat card. I did have this set up a lot, but I got into so many points where I just cleared the board to the point where my opponent surrendered, so it doesn't come up too often, but it is a very nice piece of insurance. 2 Just the Cosmos, which is basically back row, more back row clear. Overrush Storm, also unbrick in your hand, because this is Monarch. Overrush Storm in case you face against Ryozai. Graceful Charity for draws. Then we get onto our drop cards, which we have Machinations of the Monarchs. When your opponent normal summons a monster where you have a level 5 or higher monster with 1000 defense on the field, change that monster to face down defense position, then add one, well, let's just say Monarch from graveyard to hand. So, of course, with that, you would be more than likely adding back Wilhel or Estrome if you already have both of those in your hand. So then you'll be adding back a mini Monarch so that you can tribute it off one of the smaller guys off. Along with that, we have our protection, which is Sunset Rebirth. Other interruptions we were playing is Invitation to Delirious Dream and Shady. I would argue that Invitation isn't too phenomenal in this deck. You know, it's a little bit iffy. Shady is a bit nicer, but, you know, then again, I happen to be fighting against a singular maximum player, so it was a bit iffy. Then top that off, we have 1 copy of Magic Cylinder. Anyway, guys, that is the Monarch profile. Hope you all like the profile, and I hope you all will enjoy the rest of the video.